Hi everyone, this is a video to show you how to set up and use the Gmail for your school email. The reason I'm doing that is because I used to use Outlook and then I switched to the Mac version of Outlook, the mail program, and I've now decided that this, once it's set up right, this online access to your email is really effective and has got some really useful tools. So I just thought I'd take you through them. When you first sort of set up on a Gmail, you get all your emails here and you have to click on one to sort of see it, and that gets a bit annoying. So the first thing that's really important is to add the preview pane that you normally have in Outlook. So under settings, I go through and it's called a lab because it's somebody who's done it for Google, and you can search for preview or PREV and it will pop up here, preview pane, and you just click enable. Then underneath that you save your changes, and when you go back, once you've saved, you go back to your inbox and you'll have an extra button up here which allows you to vertical split. Now my emails will be previewed alongside the list. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is probably make it nice and sort of comfortable and familiar. So a lot of people who are using this have already chosen underneath settings, they've chosen themselves a theme. So I can now go down and I can find a lovely background which makes my email a little bit nicer to deal with. Okay, so I've now added a theme and a preview pane. Okay, now there's a little yellow star for you to favorite your email. So if you get like important ones, like ones from Richard Wells, that was a joke by the way. You'll see a little yellow star, you might want to favorite it. Now there's an extra option there because some people might want to color or star their department ones differently to the important ones. So again, going back to the settings, you can actually add yourself lots more colors. So just on the general tab here, without going anywhere else, here's in use, I've got the yellow. Well, I can actually do orange, and I can drag these up, red, and I can drag a green, a purple, and a blue. And then what will happen is when I go back, do I have to save changes? You have to save changes at the bottom. So now if I click this star, I can click it again to get different colors. Alright, so now I can sort of categorize the emails if I need to for different colors and have a different color for each type of email I want. So the next thing I'm going to show you is a really important thing for a lot of people. Is under settings as well, there's a great feature which you can enable, which is somewhere down here. Enable undo send. This is a great feature for all those who make those occasional mistakes where you send an entire school or a department an email and 10 seconds later realize, oh my god, I forgot the attachment or whatever. So you can enable that and then set a sort of 20-second delay on when it actually sends, or even 30 seconds if you want. And then again at the bottom here we can save the changes, and we can now compose an email, and if I compose an email to Chris Clark, test undo, I can now go send, and I now have 20 seconds to realize I forgot to write the actual email. So at the top here I get a yellow message for 20 seconds and I can undo and it pops back up again. Isn't that awesome? So now I can say, oh, here's my email and attachment. I think every day there's a situation where somebody sends an email and forgets to actually do the attachment. So that will now, and you don't have to worry if it doesn't need an undo, you can just leave it knowing that in a few seconds time it will be sent anyway. But I think that will be a useful feature for some. Now we're going on to the search options. Now I've always struggled with Outlook at searching for a particular email, and because it's Google, they are particularly good at searching. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in some features. Now I've got them listed here, that in this search box you can use the from : to subject and just type exactly what you want. Has an attachment for any email that has an attachment, or has a YouTube or list or etc. So if I type from, I can now put in Bruce, and that search will bring up every email from Bruce. But I can add, after a space, I can add a word there to say, actually, I only want it when he mentions the word science. Okay, and that cuts down the email even more. And I can go has with the colon attachment. So now I'm only finding ones that actually have an attachment. And then if you'll see on this list, if I know that he sent me a PDF, I can even search for a file type or a file name. So you can be very quick and very precise about what you want, as long as you know those little parameters for from and to. Okay, so it could be from any email from Bruce that is to me. And you'll see that cuts down the email a lot there, because it's my newer email address, and he's only sent me 2 since the new email address. So there's searching, much quicker and really effective. You can just search for a word like Google, and it will search the entire emails for that word. Now the last thing I want to show you after searching is the brilliant way that Gmail, if we're all online, or certainly within a department, we can cut down on emails so that we don't lose our important emails amongst all the schools by using the chat option instead of email. So if between 2 or 3 teachers I want to have a quick chat about something, instead of sending lots more emails, I can click on the group chat or the individual down the bottom. So I've got my individual chats and I've got my group ones. So I can plus for a new group one. I can do ORER teachers. Oh, there you go, I've learned something there. I don't think you can do ORER teachers, you can only do individuals. So you might do Graham Irving, and there's Graham Irving, and when that pops up I can add more people to this. I could add Linda, and I could add Sue. Okay, so I can create my group there, and now I have a little chat where they're getting strange messages from me, where I can say hello and they can reply, and you can have a quick conversation that way. You can even start a 3 or 4 way video cam if you want to. But this chatting feature, which the kids are already using a lot of in some classrooms, is a great feature for cutting down on the amount of email floating around the school. And I'll just delete this one because it will confuse those people. And there you go. So we have the preview pane, we have the theme to make it look nice, we have the multiple star colors for categorizing. We can switch on the undo send, so you can never have that problem of getting an attachment. It's much quicker and more effective searching. And we've now got the chat feature for individuals or group chats so that we can cut down on email. And I hope that's a pretty good introduction to Gmail or using Google for your school mail. Thanks, guys.